Stephanie Matto from 90 Day Fiance is at it again, and you'll never guess what her latest job is this time. Stephanie seems to be back in business again, but this time she's selling sweat, not farts. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it either. So if you aren't aware of who Stephanie is, she's the girl that made more than $100,000 just by selling her farts online. Stephanie released a video back when she was still selling farts and explained all that goes in on a day in the life of someone in her line of business, giving viewers a peek at what goes on behind the scenes. And apparently she actually sold a jar of her fart for $1,000. I mean, who knew you could make that much money alone from farts? And as the first of her kind, Stephanie was making it kind of big. I mean, she was literally bringing in thousands of dollars every single week, and that is until apparently she landed in the ER showing some symptoms of a heart attack. And of course, I'm no doctor, but that's just got to be horrible for her business. So after her little trip to the ER, Stephanie was given a gas suppressant, and this actually caused her early retirement from the fart industry. And you would think that Stephanie would have learned her lesson from this, but she did not, because Stephanie is back in our faces and noses, and this time with a bang, and she is now seems to be selling her chest sweat. Chest in quotes, if you know what I mean. Someone, really should just give her a medal for creativity, because this is just insane. And, jokes on everyone who thought that she'd never be back, and Stephanie seemed to think so too, as she captioned her return TikTok video when people thought that they saw the last of me when I retired from selling farts, but now I'm back with sweat jars. And it makes you wonder what else Stephanie might want to sell in a jar next. I mean, spit or, toenail clippings or something. But honestly, just thinking about all this is just disgusting. And don't take my word for it, though. Let me know what you guys think of Stephanie might want to sell next down in the comments. And you might think that all the online shaming and whatnot would actually have taken a huge toll on Stephanie and made her stop, but it actually didn't, because Stephanie is still very proud of her hustle, if you want to call it that. And she hasn't shamed anyone for their weirdness, so people should really give her a break. And after all, I guess a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And although Stephanie is yet to release a video showing us a day in the life of an entrepreneur, she has given us a lot of details, too many details if you really think about it. So if you're considering selling your sweat like Stephanie, you need to listen up, because from what Stephanie has said so far, who would have thought that selling body sweat, may not be as easy as it sounds? First, she sits out in the sun like a maple tree, in quotes, for hours, waiting for her sweat to accumulate before collecting it in a jar. And that is how she makes sweat in a jar. And it may not sound foolproof, but at least you don't have to, invest a lot of money. You just need three things: a jar, yourself, and the sun. So it looks like she didn't, bother with the flower petals as she did for her fart in a jar. And I guess she wouldn't, wanted to make this process shorter. But if you think Stephanie's also selling her sweat for just an outrageous amount of money, then you thought right, because a jar of her sweat costs $500, believe it or not. And if Stephanie can sell her sweat for $500, I can't even imagine what someone like Kim Kardashian could sell hers for. But unfortunately, for the people that might be wondering, is Stephanie's sweat jar, it's not available on Amazon, so it'd be a big bummer, but it is available on her website, Unfiltered. So if you're looking to make some insane money from even, more insane job, you might want to head over to Unfiltered after this video and give yourself a shot and check it out. But based on Stephanie's description of her website, it sounds like a pretty normal place to be, I guess. And that's kind of strange when you look at the kind of things that she sells on it. But Unfiltered is some subscription-based website where fans can kind of interact with creators similar to OnlyFans, and that seems to be a very fitting name if you really kind of think about it. But according to its policies, Unfiltered allows creators to be uncensored and do whatever they like for money, even if it means selling your sweat or fart. And this is story just keeps getting crazier if you ask me, because so apparently Stephanie seems to have learned a thing or two from her fart in a jar fiasco, so no one's got to tell her twice to be careful this time around. And Stephanie said, in quotes, "I want to be smart, start off slow, and have sustainable growth that doesn't overwhelm my body." So even if she ends up, overwhelming herself, at least she'll have enough money to, I guess, cover all the medical stuff. And you would think that Stephanie would have taken a hint from her previous trip to the ER, but she really hasn't. She looks ready to do anything to avoid working a 9 to 5. So you guys remember how I said Stephanie generates her sweat by sitting outside in the sun? Well, according to her, she does this carefully to avoid sun damage. And I don't want to be the only person stating the obvious, but Stephanie, have you ever heard of a sauna before? Maybe just taking a run if she's, looking to keep fit too and whatnot. So let's just hope that this time around she doesn't end up in the ER with a heat heat stroke, but I'm very curious though, what do you guys think people, do with Stephanie's sweat after buying it? I honestly can't even imagine. It's kind of just disgusting. It's like the world is just going crazy. And Stephanie literally said that she has sold more than 50 jars within a week of starting her new job. And I may be bad at math, but doesn't that equal like $25,000? So that means Stephanie makes like $5,000 a day from selling her sweat. And that is just absolutely insane. So if you think of, sweat is the weirdest thing Stephanie has been asked for on her website, well, what I'm about to say next is going to leave you stunned, because not only are some people interested in buying Stephanie's sweat, but some of them also want videos of her armpits, and I'm honestly just so shocked. I mean, so much that I don't even have the words to explain. From farts to sweat, and now people want to give Stephanie another idea. I mean, I get people like buying things, from their favorite celebrities, but don't you guys think this is just a little too extreme and just so weird? But anyway, everyone's doing their own thing nowadays, so I'm not really one to judge. But guys, let me know in the comments below what your opinions are on Stephanie's latest business venture and how long you guys think she's gonna last before she calls it quits or has to go back to the ER. Well guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please do me a huge favor, hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.